Hi and welcome to Study Simplified. Today we're going to cover multiples, factors and prime factors. Let's start with multiples. We'll begin by finding the multiples of 2. A multiple of 2 is the product of 2 and any other whole number. For example, 2 times 3 is 6, so 6 is a multiple of 2. Or 2 times 5 is 10, so 10 is a multiple of 2. To list all the multiples of 2, all we need to do is multiply 2 by whole numbers starting from 1. As you can see, the answers you get here, or the multiples, is just the 2 times tables. Therefore, we can find the multiples of any number just by looking at the times tables for that number. Here are the first few multiples of 3, 4, 5 and 6. Note that there are an infinite number of multiples for each number, because we can just keep multiplying by larger and larger numbers to get more multiples to infinity. Now let's talk about factors. A factor is a number that divides into another number without leaving a remainder. Let's take the number 6. What are the factors of 6? Think of all the numbers that divide into 6 exactly. We know 6 divided by 1 is 6, so 1 is a factor of 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so as 2 divides into 6 exactly, leaving no remainder, that means 2 is a factor of 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Here, 3 divides into 6, so 3 is a factor of 6. And finally, 6 divided by 6 is 1, so 6 is a factor. Therefore, the number 6 has 4 factors, 1, 2, 3 and 6. Notice that the factors actually come in pairs, because 1 times 6 is 6, 1 and 6 are both factors, and 2 times 3 is 6, so 2 and 3 are both factors. Let's look at some factors of some other numbers. Starting with 12, let's work out the factors in pairs. 1 times 12 is 12, so 1 and 12 are factors. 2 times 6 is 12, so 2 and 6 are factors. And 3 times 4 is 12, so 3 and 4 are factors. We can work out the factors of other numbers in a similar way. Now remember that a prime number is a number which has only 2 factors, 1 and itself. That means 7 is a prime number. Remember this, as we'll need to know about prime numbers for the next section. Let's move on to something called prime factor decomposition. This means decomposing or breaking down a number by writing it as a product of prime numbers, or more specifically, the product of its prime factors. Let's start with 12 again. We already know that 2 times 6 is 12, so we can write 12 with its factors of 2 and 6. 2 is a prime number, so we can circle this. This means we've found a prime factor of 12. 6 is not a prime number, but we can write 6 as the product of 2 and 3. Now both 2 and 3 are prime, so we can circle these too. We can therefore write 12 as 2 times 2 times 3, or 2 squared times 3. There's usually more than one way to perform prime factor decomposition, and whichever way you decide to break down a number, you should end up with the same final answer. We could have written 12 as 3 times 4. Now 3 is prime, which we can circle. 4 is not prime, so we can write this as the product of 2 and 2. These 2's are prime, so circle them. And this gives the same answer. Next, we can look at some examples. Question 1. Write the first 5 multiples of 8. Remember, for multiples, we can just use the times tables. Just multiply 8 by whole numbers starting from 1. Therefore, the first 5 multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32 and 40. Question 2. Find the factors of 19, 28 and 81. 19 has the factors 1 and 19, so as there are only 2 factors, it's a prime number. 28 is 1 times 28, or 2 times 14, or 4 times 7. 81 is 1 times 81, or 3 times 27, or 9 times 9. Question 3. Write 104 as the product of its prime factors. 104 is 2 times 51. 2 is prime, so circle it. 51 is 3 times 17. 3 is prime, and 17 is also prime, so circle both. Therefore, 104 is 2 times 3 times 17. Now, how did we know that 51 could be divided by 3 and be written as 3 times 17? Tip number 1. To test if you can divide by 3, find the digit sum and see if you can divide by 3 exactly. For 51, the digit sum is 5 plus 1 equals 6, and 6 divides by 3 exactly, which means 51 also divides by 3 exactly. So working out the digit sum is a cool trick to see whether you can divide by 3 or not. Tip number 2. Now that you know that 51 can be divided by 3, use the bus stop method to calculate 51 divided by 3, or just use the 3 times tables to get the other factor of 17. And that's all from us at Study Simplified for now. Like and subscribe if you want to see more course content. See you next time.